Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Sunday Night Countdown. We're going to go over our weekly watch list on our top 10 stocks that we're going to be looking out for this week and this month. And I want to go over an exact analysis on which indicators we will be looking out for on these breakouts and which alerts I will be setting so that way we can catch them before they do break out. And again, much love to everybody in the comment section as always, as you guys have been showing me tons of love. And if you guys have not subscribed, we do go all out Monday through Friday on entries and breakouts. So definitely subscribe if you guys want to see more entries and breakouts and exactly those alerts that I do set so that way we can catch them before they do break out. Again, we are going to go over CLOV is the first one we want to go over, as they did end the day with about 247 million volume, and they have on average 38 million volume. Now we are previously consolidating at 906, and we did get rejected twice around this area. So we are going to ultimately try to break over 906 in my opinion, and we're going to set a volume alert above our previous spike that we saw here. So that way, if it does get to that point, then we'll be alerted. Now, again, we want to see our next green volume spike to be above this point, and we will be alerted if that does happen. So we are going to set it right above these 2 points so that way we can be alerted if it can possibly break that 906 mark with a nice profitable trade. Ultimately, we want to see this 20 MA cross above the 50, and we want to see this 50 MA definitely cross below the 20, so that way we can have even more of a bullish momentum play. Now, we also are going to set our MACD here at 0.21. The reason why I want to set it for 2.21 is because we saw two buy pressure points here, and we want to make sure we break above the first one, so that way we can have that possible breakout above the next one that we see here ultimately. And so that would give us a nice momentum play on CLOV. Now, CLOV could go crazy during pre-market. They did consolidate right before after hours, and they do look like they can possibly continue into pre-market. So definitely pre-market would give us a nice indication. If you don't trade pre-market, definitely be careful, because this one is very volatile, and you definitely don't want to be stuck in pre-market if you're not used to selling limit sales. Now, EBON, I did want to go over as well, as EBON has been ending the day with a ton of volume. They have on average 81. They have on average 34 million volume, and on average they ended the day with 81 million. So I wanted to show you guys exactly what we're going to look out for. Now, the volume has been spiking up here, but it isn't past our previous volume point. So we are going to set an alert right above our previous volume point here, so you guys can see. And if we can break above this, in my opinion, we can possibly have the run up that we're looking for, and possibly have the 20 MA cross above the 50 at that point. And we're also going to set our buy pressure points here. You can see that overall we are decreasing in sell pressure, and we're also decreasing in buy pressure. So overall, we want to at least break above our buy pressure point here. That is where I'll set my alert above, right above that buy pressure point at 0.20. So that way we can possibly break out. That is going to be on EBON, and we will catch this if it does break out, and it will be alerted as soon as possible. SPCE is another one I'm going to go over now. They did end the day with 12 million volume, and on average they have 11 million. Now, Kathy Woods and ARK Invest, they did just buy a ton of SPCE in this last week. So I do like SPCE as a nice play, and they also do have earnings coming into on 5/4, which is May 4th. They do have earnings coming in. So we are definitely going to see if SPCE does run up into this. And in my opinion, I will be buying SPCE on a long play and I'll be adding on every single dip as well on SPCE. But like I said, they could possibly run up to earnings. And if not, I still like these prices for SPCE, as they have been consolidating from this point previously. And the reason why they did sell off is not only because of the market, but also because Richard Branson was selling his shares. But at this point, is when he used to buy his shares. So I know that much about this stock, and I know that I'll be buying at these prices and continue to be buying if it does sell off. Now, SPC, like I said, I love the company overall. Overall, the market has been on a sell-off, but I do think that we will recover sometime soon. So SPCE will be on my long play. Now, CHEK, they did end the day with 4 million volume, and on average about 2.5. Now, that's not a lot of volume, but we will possibly have a reversal here. As you can see, we did have a breakout point around this area. So we are going to see if we can bounce from here. We will set our volume alert above our previous volume spike right here. So again, we will have our volume alert here. If anything does happen here on CHEK, then we will be alerted as soon as possible. Also on the MACD, we will be setting our alert right above our buy pressure points that we saw before this huge one. So that way we will be alerted if anything does happen here. And again, we do want that 20 MA to break above the 50 ultimately on CHEK. PLUG, I did want to mention, plug. Ultimately, in my opinion, is a very bullish company. Now, they do have old divergence on the RSI. You can see that the RSI is going from lower to higher, while the price action is going from higher to lower, showing us that the relative indicator shows us that this stock could be reversing. And also on the volume, we are going to set our alert right above our previous volume points. So that will be set at right above our previous volume points, as you can see right here. And also, if anything does happen here, we will be alerted. And also on the buy pressure point, we will be alerted above our previous buy pressure point. So again, I will be setting that for 1.30 on plug on the buy pressure points. So that is on the MACD, and we will see if this one does reverse and continue, as they do have earnings coming in on May 6th also. So we will see if plug does run up into earnings as well, and we will get those volume alerts if it does, in my opinion. Now, again, plug overall is a bullish company, so that's why I do like plug as a possible run up going into earnings. Now, PLX, ultimately, it does look like it is on a nice run. They did end the day with 1.6 million volume, and on average, they have 1 million volume. So again, ultimately, we want to see more volume coming in. We want to see at least above our volume point that we're at actually now, right above that. So that way we can break above this volume point. It's actually very equal to where it was previously. So if we can break above this, we will be alerted on the volume point, and we ultimately want to break over 692, as that was our previous high. They do have FDA approval that is trying to be expected this month. And I know a lot of people are actually buying into this stock because of that. So that's why this stock is going up. So ultimately, we want to break over 692 and get that volume alert down here. Now, also on the MACD, we want to see our alert right here at 0.10, right above our previous buy pressure point. So you guys can see exactly where we will be alerted, and that way we can catch it before it does run. Now, PLX, in my opinion, has been an amazing trade. We mentioned this one about a week and a half ago that they were going into FDA approval. So this one has been a nice swing trade. I'm still in this one. And Snap, I do like also. Snap is also very bullish of a company. They have earnings on the 22nd on Thursday, and a couple other ones I'm going to mention that are also earnings on Thursday. And Snap obviously is not a penny stock, but they do move a little slower. But however, we are going to try to break above this point at 64.46, and we are going to get this volume alert if we do get above our previous volume point. So again, that volume point would be at this point in time, and that is where we want to break above at some point, so that we can have a nice bullish momentum play going into earnings. That is my opinion, and this is what will happen, in my opinion, if it does give us a nice run up into earnings. Now, again, like I said, we want to break over 64.70 ultimately, and have a nice volume spike from there. And we want this 20 MA to stop curling down, and hopefully it'll curl back up and it just continue on up, so that we can have a nice play into Snap. Now, the next one I'll go over is UAL. That is, their earnings are actually on Monday, tomorrow. So we are going to possibly see a morning spike on UAL going into earnings. So again, I do think that we will probably get rejected around $59 if we do have a morning spike. So ultimately, we are going to look at the 5-minute, wait for that 20 MA to cross over the 50 on a possible run up going into earnings on Monday. So hopefully UAL does run up, and if not, like I said, then we will have that confirmation basically when that 20 MA crosses above the 50 on the 5-minute. And again, this is not a recommendation. This is what I'll be doing. I do like these run ups sometimes going into earnings, as they're easy plays usually, as in my opinion, airlines is expecting a lot of profitability in their earnings plays. So again, I do think it will run up. I'm not going to hold into earnings. I'm only going to play the run up into earnings. Now, the next one I'll go over is LUV. This is Southwest Airlines. They do have earnings on Thursday, as well as Snapchat does, and we could possibly see a run up. Now, the 20 MA is holding above the 50 still. I do think this is still bullish, and they will run up into earnings. Now, if you guys want to play this even safer, we will set our alert right above our previous volume points, and also we can set an alert here on our buy pressure point, so you can see if we do break above this and we do reverse from this sell pressure, then we will hopefully get that buy pressure that we're looking for on a nice run up. But ultimately, I do think that it will run up possibly without the buy pressure point breaking above this, as again, I do think it will be some type of hype going into the into earnings, but not exactly something that will be quite the run up as we would hope. I do think they might even sell off during earnings, which is why I'm only playing going into earnings. Now, INTC, Intel, they had a huge sell-off recently. They got bad news because there's more competitors that are actually starting to compete with them. So we are going to see if Intel can reverse at this 50 MA and bounce off of it going into earnings. They have earnings on Thursday. So in my opinion, Intel could be a nice run up, and we could set our volume alert right above our previous volume points right here. So if it does break above these points, in my opinion, then we will be alerted as soon as possible, so we can catch Intel on a nice run up. Now, on the buy pressure point, we can set it right above our previous buy pressure point, but ultimately, like I said, I think it may even run into earnings and not break over this buy pressure point, as it will, in my opinion, just be a nice run up for a nice, who knows, 5 to 10% play on Intel, as it is a very expensive stock and it's not exactly going to run over $68 in my opinion without having good earnings. So Intel will definitely be on the watch. We'll see if it bounces off the 50 MA here and it does give us some volume, so that way we can have a nice play on Intel. Now, these are the top 10 stocks for our weekly watch list. Again, most of the time they are penny stocks, but this time around earnings is coming up, and overall the small cap has been pretty slow recently. So I do believe it will pick up, and many other stocks will pick up as well eventually. But like I said, we will be posting anything that does break out as usual. And this is how you catch stocks. You put your volume alerts, put your MACD alerts, so that way you can get the buy pressure before it comes in on the price action. That way you guys can buy it before everybody else does. And again, much love to you guys as always. Throw your watch list in the comment section if you guys have one. If you guys can like the video, it does help other people find it, and I do appreciate it very much, as it does help the channel. And again, God bless you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.